A matchup that I was not expecting to ever happen, at least at this point in this series. I am talking about Zoro versus Rob Lucci. As of right now, they are one of the only two matchups that are really going on in Egghead Island. The fight that is going on besides this one is Luffy versus Kizaru. Luffy, he always fights the strongest opponent, and as of right now, Kizaru is the strongest person here. I know Saint Garcia's Saturn is in Egghead, but he's not exactly attacking. He is trying to stay hidden, and we also don't really know how strong he truly is. So it logically makes sense for Zoro to be fighting against Rob Lucci, considering that he is the second strongest marine that is available. We haven't really seen much of the fight, and that's probably because we are on break. I honestly was not expecting us to have a break this week. I misread the calendar. I thought we were going to have a chapter this week and a break next week, but apparently we'll have a chapter next week and then we won't be on break for another 3 weeks. So instead of doing my typical Wednesday chapter reviews, I thought I'd talk about this fight since it's going on in the manga. But if you guys enjoy regular anime content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. With that, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's talk about and see if Zoro is too strong for Rob Lucci. The Zoro versus Lucci interaction started in chapter 1091. Lucci, he went in and tried to go kill Vegapunk, where Stussy stepped in and blocked the finger pistol. And this is why I tell people that power scaling is a little bit dumb to a certain degree. I'm not mad at Rob Lucci here. Was his attack snake-like? Yes, absolutely, but let's not act like this isn't something that Rob Lucci would not do. When working under CP9, let's not act like Lucci didn't try and assassinate Iceberg. This is the type of person that he is. Lucci clearly outnumbered, still went in for the assassination, and I'm all here for it. I respect it. To me, what really doesn't make sense is Zoro and Sanji in this situation. Number one, Zoro, he already had mentioned earlier that once Kaku and Lucci were free, that they try and attack Vegapunk and the Straw Hats again. Heck, even Lucci said it to Zoro's face that that would be the case. So him letting his guard down a little bit when Zoro is typically the one who is more on the cautious and always alert side, that kinda was a little bit weird in my opinion. Number two, Zoro and Sanji's reaction speed along with their observation haki, it should have been good enough to be able to see what Lucci was doing. Sanji, he dodged a jelly bean that Katakuri threw after he had already looked into the future, and Zoro was able to go against Kaido and King when he was moving at an insanely fast speed. So there's no excuse as to why these two weren't able to react to this, but why weren't they able to? It's because of the story. Oda, he is going to write stuff however the fluff he wants, not really paying attention to power scaling. Obviously, he's not going to completely ignore it because there needs to be some stuff that stays consistent in order for the story to make sense. This was a scene to create chaos, a sense of urgency, and a way for Zoro to fight against Rob Lucci. To make up for the situation, Sanji and Zoro, they acted swiftly and controlled the situation perfectly. Sanji, he trapped Kaku in a bubble ball. We know that these bubble balls have similar qualities to that of Sea Prism Stone, so it makes Kaku pretty much useless. And then Zoro, he attacked Rob Lucci, who covered his leg in haki, and he ended up taking the fight outside. Now these two have been fighting simultaneously along with Luffy and Kizaru. Lucci, he is in his awakened form, and it appears that Zoro is using his Conqueror's King of Hell technique. Zoro claimed that Lucci wasn't strong enough to take on Luffy, and then Lucci clapped back saying that taking Zoro's head would be a good consolation prize. So these two are going at what appears to be an even match. I am glad that these are how the matchups have shaken up so far, and I also like the fact that both Luffy and Zoro had a small interaction against Kaku and Lucci, the opponents that they faced at Enies Lobby, and now they are facing someone new. It just shows how they have progressed as the story has went on. So why do people want the matchup of Zoro and Lucci? And this is because of what transpired in Enies Lobby. That would include how Zoro versus Lucci went originally, the Doriki power system, and then the distance between Luffy and Zoro. Circling back to Enies Lobby, as per usual, Zoro, he had an interaction against the main antagonist, of the arc, and similar to Luffy when he fought the first time against Rob Lucci, Zoro got humiliated by him. His sword attack was stopped by an iron body and Lucci sent him flying and he got stuck in a chimney. So obviously Zoro fans were upset at what happened and they wanted him to go against Lucci in order to get his get back. Then there's the whole Doriki power system, which I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't really know why it was included in the first place since we haven't used it ever since, but it is what it is. This system allowed for us to know the physical power level of the members of CP9, and in vice versa, it shows that hey, the Straw Hats were either equal or stronger than the individuals that they faced whenever they went against them. Lucci's Doriki number was 4,000 while Kaku was at 2,200, which showed that Lucci was considered stronger than Kaku. Granted, as I mentioned earlier, it's only about physical ability, so it didn't include their fruits, but at the same time, Lucci had a better grasp of his cat fruit, the model leopard, instead of Kaku's giraffe fruit because he had just obtained the ability. A lot of people use this power system to say that Luffy fought against someone stronger, and this brings me to my next point. There was always the debate whether or not Zoro was stronger or equal to Luffy at some point in this series, and debating whether or not Zoro could defeat Rob Lucci here at Enies Lobby. And a lot of people want to use the debate because of the Doriki power system that Luffy fought against someone stronger, which is true, but there's also the yellow data book that stated pre-time skip that Zoro and Luffy had equal strength and combat ability, and this is before Gears and Ashura, so I don't really know how much stock we want to put into that. There are also some individuals who believe that Zoro was strong enough to defeat Lucci at Enies Lobby because after he fought against Kaku using Ashura, he was still able to move around and was still able to fight, compared to Luffy, how he went all out and was dang near paralyzed and unable to move after defeating him. Could Zoro have done it? I'm not really sure. If I was a betting man, I'd say he probably would, but at the same time, I understand why people make the argument saying that he would not be able to defeat him. I think that Rob Lucci is a fine opponent for Zoro to go against. He trained like hell to get to where he's at and obtain the title of being a member of CP0. Him being a zone makes him incredibly strong because he stated that zone devil fruits are suited for fighters who use aggressive attacks, which he trained himself intensely so that his attacks in his zone form can be stronger, especially now that he's awakened. He also went up against a Gear 5th Luffy. Granted, he did lose, but he displayed that he could keep up with the speed and strength that Luffy has at this point at this series, at least a little bit. Lucci was someone that the One Piece community wanted Zoro to fight all the way back at Enies Lobby, so I'm glad that he's fighting him now. And I know that some people are going to make the argument of Zoro fighting against people like King and Kaido, and in my opinion, I think Lucci is weaker than them, and especially Kaido. I'm not really sure about King, but at the same time, as long as this fight isn't an extreme diff fight, because not every fight has to be, if it's a high diff one, I'd be fine as long as Zoro defeats him without needing to go all out and use Ashura. But let me know how you guys feel about it. Do you guys think that Roronoa Zoro, King of Hell, is too strong for Lucci to handle and that he shouldn't be fighting him? Let me know in the comment section below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss out on a new video from my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.